Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to take a closer look at this Certina DS Action Diver 38mm. Being under the same Swatch umbrella group, Certina is not as popular as its budget-friendly counterpart Tissot. At one point, I almost purchased one of their DS8 models. I hesitated and it was no longer available. I have then looked at their various models and found that they are too big for my small wrist until this model. This is the new DS Action Diver launched earlier this year, and it comes at a great 38mm case size. It comes in several different colors, from a standard black, a green, black gold, blue gold, and green gold, of which some is limited edition. Having a small wrist, I'm always on the lookout for small watches. And for dive watches, there are not a lot that come at a sub 40mm case size. The DS concept is what Certina has been promoting for years. DS essentially stands for double security. They means water resistance and shock resistance. I'll put a link in the description box below to a video about the history of Certina if you're interested to know more. Yes, this is a true ISO 6425 certified dive watch. You can see the phrase diver's watch printed on the dial, and unlike most Seikos around this price point, this has a 300 meters of water resistance. And on the accompanying Certina diver's watch certificate, it is actually tested at 375 meters. Apart from being a small dive watch, another reason that prompted me to get this is the continuously increasing Seiko price point for their newer diver's watch. Yes, on the newer SPB series dive watches, they have added better movements like the 6R35 with a 70 hours of power reserve and a sapphire crystal, but they are much more expensive than this DS Action Diver here. There is then the SRP series divers with similar price range as this DS Action Diver. Most of them are fitted with a 4R movement and they have a power reserve of about 40 hours, and most of them they only comes with hard wax crystals. It seems this DS Action Diver brings a lot more value for its price. Well, I might get a lot of hate from Seiko fanboys for saying this, but just hear me out here. I really like Seiko. I have a bunch of them, but with the lower specs per price ratio these days, maybe this Swiss-made automatic ISO certified dive watch makes a better sense. Okay, enough rambling, let's get into some specs of the watch. The watch comes in at a case diameter of 38.2mm. It has a thickness of 12.3mm. The lug-to-lug distance, it's about 45mm, but if you're looking at the fixed end links, the effective lug-to-lug, it's about 51.2mm. It comes with a 19mm lug width. I think the 19mm lug width might be a deterrent to most collectors. Not a problem for me, as I have at least 3 watches with 19mm lug width. My Black Bay 36, my Grand Seiko, my Captain Cook, my Rado Captain Cook. I have invested in several 19mm straps. The watch has a 120 click unidirectional dive time bezel. There is almost no backplay or just a very little backplay. It has an aluminum insert with a lume pip at 12. Protecting the dial is a flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside, not something you will get on an SRP series Seiko dive watch. There is a blue chapter ring, and again, unlike most Seiko, this lines up perfectly. The watch comes with a beautiful blue sunburst dial. All the hour markers are applied and they are lume filled. Certina only states that it's super luminova, and from the whitish color I would say it's a BGW9. Alright, I'm gonna do a lume shot, so I'm gonna blast the watch with a UV torch. And see how the lume goes. So yeah, I think this one is a Super Luminova BGW9 with that kind of a bluish greenish hue to it, and when it is bright it's a white color lume on the hour markers and hand. The lume, I would say they are quite good, given that this watch is an ISO certified dive watch. I believe there is certain requirements for the lume as well. Being an ISO certified dive watch, the hands are lume too. The markers and hands are all high polish, and I would say that the finishing is quite good. There is no rough edge and no burr. The Certina logo with the rest of the text are printed. There is a date at 3. I would prefer a date window at 6 for newer watches for a more symmetrical look. And normally I would complain about that date wheel, but I think the white date wheel works fine for the legibility of this piece. Powering the watch is a Powermatic 80 movement with a reference number of 80.611. It has a so-called Nivachron or Nivachron, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It has a Nivachron balance spring that has very good anti-magnetic properties. This new material was developed by Swatch Group in collaboration with Audemars Piguet in 2018. It is a titanium-based alloy that is also more resistant to temperature variation. I'll put a link to a press release statement from Swatch about this Nivachron material in the description box below for your reading pleasure. Well, I can say that the accuracy of the watch on this Powermatic 80 movement is quite good here. It still has a very healthy amplitude of 350 degrees, and it ranges from 0 to +1 second per day. But the beat error maybe it's slightly higher at 0.4 millisecond, but I guess the overall day-to-day accuracy is quite good here. On the back we have a high polish case back, which I'm not a fan of, especially if the watch comes with a bracelet. The bracelet will almost certainly scratch the case back. We have the typical spec sheets engraving and a turtle. The DS concept referenced a turtle for its robust protective shell. The watch comes with a screw-down crown ensuring a 300 meters of water resistance. The case is entirely brushed, giving it a no-nonsense look. The brushings are good and the edges on the watch case are very well defined, giving out a feel of high quality finishing. The bracelet is also brushed. It comes with the standard affair of solid links, solid end links. The end links have this type of positive midsection that makes the so-called lug-to-lug distance longer. We will do a wrist shot later and you can decide if it will work on smaller wrists. The removable links are held in by push pins, and they also provided half links as well. However, I'm unable to get a perfect fit on my wrist due to the lack of micro adjustment on the clasp. I have no choice but to wear this watch a little loose. It does come with a male clasp and also a flip lock safety buckle. And as you can see, it comes with a diver's extension, but it is just made of stamped metal. So normally if you do not need this, you can just fold it and tuck it inside the clasp. Let's do a reshot. Okay, so this is how the watch looked on my small girly 6-inch wrist. So as you can see, I need to wear this a little loose because I cannot get a good fit. If I were to remove one of the half links, it's too tight for me, and if I were to add that half link, it's too loose for me. And yes, you can see there are only 2 micro adjustment position. You don't have much to play around, so I would say this would be one of the negatives of the watch. But if you can see from here, the compact lug to lug distance does make this watch wears okay on my wrist. And I think even though with that extra long midsection of the end link, I would say it still look okay on my 6-inch or 15.2 centimeters wrist. On the overall, this is definitely a great bang for buck dive watch for me. Not only that, it is one of the few 38mm dive watch at this price point with a set of great specs. The only negative that I can think of maybe is the lug width and the so-called lack of micro adjustment on the clasp. So if you can get past 2 of these negatives, I would definitely recommend this watch as an alternative to a much higher price Seiko dive watch. Yep, so yeah, you can hate me if you like, but this is what I think. Alright, with that said, that's it for this video. If you're new to the channel, you can help me by subscribing to my channel. And yep, till then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care and stay safe. Bye bye.